Welcome back to Wainsider, where we don't just cover the chaos, we dig into the emotion, the history, and the meaning behind every moment in the ring. Tonight's focus is the shocking night on Raw that spiraled out of control and left the road to Clash in Paris bloodstained before the fatal four-way has even begun. The stage was already heavy with tension. Bron Breakker, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, and Jey Uso were announced for a match that would decide more than just bragging rights. Each man carried his own story, his own scars, and his own ambition into that ring. And standing in the shadows was CM Punk, the self-proclaimed voice of the voiceless, who has never needed an invitation to insert himself into chaos. His very presence promised something explosive, and fans could feel it building like a storm. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. Alright, we're halfway through, and things are about to take a serious turn. If you thought you knew where this was going, think again, this is where the real drama unfolds. Stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. The night began with words, not fists. Rollins spoke first, his voice a mix of arrogance and defiance, reminding the world that he's been the workhorse, the man who has carried Raw through blood, sweat, and sacrifice. His laughter was tinged with venom, daring anyone to try and take what he believes he built. LA Knight followed, his confidence dripping in every syllable. The crowd hung on his words, the megastar energy undeniable. But beneath the charisma was frustration, the feeling that despite his rise, he's still viewed as the outsider trying to break through the glass ceiling. Bron Breakker said little, but his silence was its own threat. His raw power has made him one of the most feared young stars in WWE, and he stood there like a coiled spring, waiting for the right moment to unleash. Then came Jey Uso, carrying the weight of a fractured family legacy on his shoulders. The cheers of "Yeet" from the crowd couldn't mask the torment in his eyes. Every match for Jey is more than a fight, it's a battle to prove he can exist beyond the shadow of Roman Reigns and the bloodline. The words escalated, the tension mounting with every exchange. Pride clashed with pride, ego with ego. And though security stood ready, the fans knew this would not end in peace. Halfway through the night, the spark finally hit the powder keg. Rollins shoved Knight, Knight fired back, and suddenly fists were flying. Breakker charged into the chaos, spearing Rollins with an impact that rattled the ring. Jey tried to calm the storm at first, but his temper couldn't stay buried. He cracked Knight with a superkick, sending shockwaves through the arena. And then, like a predator who'd been circling all night, CM Punk hit the ring. The crowd exploded as Punk launched himself into the melee, fists and fury raining down. In an instant, Raw transformed into an all-out brawl, bodies colliding, furniture flying, and chaos swallowing the arena whole. Security flooded the ring but couldn't contain it. Breakker threw guards aside like rag dolls. Rollins swung wildly, his eyes burning with madness. Knight and Jey turned their fight into survival mode, striking anything that moved. And Punk, smiling through the violence, thrived in the carnage he helped create. The audience didn't sit. They roared, standing on their feet as if witnessing a riot more than a wrestling show. The fatal four-way wasn't just a match anymore, it had become a war before the bell ever rang. Backstage, whispers spread fast. Some superstars praised the chaos, saying it brought Raw alive again. Others worried this had gone too far, that the line between storyline and survival was starting to blur. The fatal four-way at Clash in Paris was always going to be unpredictable. But now, with blood spilled and egos bruised, it feels more dangerous than ever. The four men set to collide are not simply competitors, they're enemies whose pride has been wounded. For Rollins, this is about reclaiming what he believes is his kingdom. For Knight, this is about breaking through barriers and proving he is more than a catchphrase. For Breakker, it is about dominance, the chance to cement himself as the future. And for Jey Uso, it is personal. This is about showing the world that he is not just a twin, not just a follower, not just a member of a broken family. This is about redemption, even if it comes through blood. Punk's role is perhaps the most dangerous of all. He thrives on division, on resentment, on pushing others to their breaking point. His presence has already added gasoline to the fire, and when Paris arrives, he may be the one to burn it all down. The fallout has left trust shattered. Knight no longer sees allies, only targets. Rollins views everyone as a threat to his spotlight. Breakker only sees victims waiting to be conquered. And Jey, caught in the middle, feels the weight of a legacy that won't let him breathe. The Fatal 4-Way is no longer about opportunity, it is about survival. And survival in WWE often comes at the cost of betrayal, broken trust, and blood. The legacy of this match will not be decided by who wins the title shot, but by who walks out whole and who leaves broken. And with family names, egos, and futures on the line, the cost may be higher than anyone imagined. Clash in Paris now looms not as a spectacle, but as a reckoning. The kind of battle that rewrites careers, scars legacies, and echoes in WWE history forever. And when the dust settles, one truth will remain. In this business, pride destroys faster than fists. Alliances crumble, trust vanishes, and in the end, only blood remains to tell the story.